I'm recording right now. So those of you, just to let you know, I am recording right now. And so let me go back one page to make sure that those at home will be able to see the title page. So this is the Ed Camp Cardigan Camp, November 13th, 5 p.m. session. I'm talking about the Trojan Library Media Center Makerspace at Jefferson Academy, which is located in Washington, D.C. in the Southwest neighborhood. My name is Casey Boyd. I am the librarian. This is my 5th year working at that school, but this is my 24th year working as a school librarian. Really excited because this is the first time I've worked in a library media center that had a dedicated makerspace. Now, despite having this beautiful space, I don't have funding for my program. So I had to get really, really creative in terms of how I made a lot of made a lot of things happen. And you'll see some of the things that I've done so far this year. The first thing I did was that I wanted to create a hashtag so I could find material online. I am incredibly busy and I'm all over the place. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And because I'm all over the place, when it's time for me to give presentations like this, sometimes I don't have content all in the same area. And what I like to do is use hashtags because I type in these hashtags that you see on the screen in Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, now TikTok, and even LinkedIn. And I get all my work that pops up in one area. And I'm able to complete any type of project report or presentation. So this presentation I put together today, it took maybe about 20 minutes to do because I was able to just be very mindful when I post online to social media, I use my hashtags. So the hashtag for the makerspace is, of course, Trojan, LMC, Library Media Center, Makerspace. I know it's a mouthful. And then the second hashtag I use is the generic one for my Library Media Center program, which is JA, meaning Jefferson Academy readers. So it's hashtag JA readers. So that's what that means when you see anything that I posted online. So I want to just take you through this. Oh, I see a typo, my fault. The thing about this is that, as I said, I didn't have a lot of, I still don't, I don't have any funding for my program. I get money for books. That's it. So I'm kind of it's all up to me to find ways to make a way. So some of this I had personally invested in, like I purchased a nice box of origami paper from Amazon, my shopping addiction, and also Legos, making it really simple, and finding free tween coloring pages. These are simple projects that can be done. And I see the most traffic with kids, of course, during lunch periods. I keep them during lunch and then also during their recess period. So what does that mean? They bring their trays to the lunch, to the Library Media Center. They eat with me. And then as soon as they're done eating, they go into any activity that I have planned. So even now that we're back face to face in a in the school, I usually would have about 40 kids per lunch period that will come in. Now I have a little under half of that number because, of course, of COVID, and I have to kind of shift and rotate kids in and out so they can have the activity of coming in. And so these are some pictures of some of the makerspace activities I did my first year in 2017, which is pretty cool, and I'm looking at some of these kids, and some of them have graduated and some of them will be graduating very soon. So you look really young here. So when you open up this link, when you open up my PDF, you should be able to access these links that are embedded in the presentation. If they're not working, just let me know. And for example, with the origami, I'm just going to click on this. It's going to take me directly to my Twitter account. And I use Pic Collage because I use the combination of video as well as still pictures, and it just gives you an idea of what the physical space looks like, what the kids are doing that particular day. I'm also looking at how barren my walls are, because now they're really decorated with different posters and stuff. So this is really going back in time to 2019. So I would invite kids to come in. I use YouTube a lot because the YouTube videos are very helpful with providing a little instructional support with how to do particular projects. And in my case, I'm not good at doing origami, so I definitely needed to use a visual tool like YouTube to do this activity. So tween coloring, same thing. Um, I find that when kids color, they enjoy themselves. It's very calming activity. And here you can see they were doing Day of the Dead posters during that time. And we cut them out, and then we actually put them in the glass that faces the hallway as the kids come down the ramp to the Library Media Center. So when people visit, they see the projects that are taped to the glass windows as they come in, of what the kids are doing, that particular week or day. The last one is Legos. And a lot of us have Legos in our Library Media Center. And so just again, this is a Day of the Dead activity. One of the boys decided, okay, I'm going to make a Day of the Dead skull. So I'm like, go for it. So not only have they used it for this activity, used it for other activities, and the kids do like the Legos. So, just let them be creative and explore. And so this is relatively simple projects, simple activities that the kids can engage in, during the period. All right, so let's move on and let's go on. Those are simple projects. Now we're going to go to quick projects. And these are fairly recent here. This is a creepy, simple project. I was thinking, okay, I don't have any money. How can I stretch? How can I make this work? And of course, pipe cleaners are always a great answer because kids like them. It's a lot of fun. And I'm sorry, I see some questions popping in the chat. I will definitely answer questions towards the end. So I want to kind of just get through some of these slides really quick. One of the things is that I use YouTube again, and I find those instructional videos on how to put a little pumpkin together, and the kids love this. And they made them in the different colors. Same thing with like the creepy crawly spiders. I was able to get the loose rolling eyes, and you could get like a pack of them from Amazon or either Oriental Trading, and you can buy them relatively cheap and buy the clear glue, and the kids will just go for it. I like these quick projects, especially in the morning, because we're a Hope Model school, and the Hope Model encompasses movement and exercise and learning at the same time. And so I want to show you this one now. A lot of people are like, wait a minute, they shouldn't be doing this in the Library Media Center, but you come to my library, anything can happen. And I'm sorry, I'm noticing this link is not working very well, but this is an example of the Hope Model. Look, these kids were tossing around a little ping pong ball. This is all going on during zero period. This is the period before school starts. So this is 7:45 in the morning, and they are tossing the ball around. I have some kids making bracelets out of beads and pipe cleaners. I have some kids just quietly reading, and some kids come in, bring their breakfast, and they're sitting in the lobby eating. So I have a lot of things that are going on at the same time because I have so many different rooms, and because there's so much glass in my library, I can see directly into all the rooms and monitor what kids are doing. I will fix that link for the Hope Model, so just give me a minute after this presentation's over. Now, let's talk about epic fail. This was an epic fail here. Why was it an epic fail? Well, we really tried and it just didn't work. You see, I had this wonderful idea of how about the kids do like a winter STEM building activity. And when they do this, like they build this like winter palace, and they use marshmallows, toothpicks, and gummy bears, to build bridges, to build walls, to build castles, because at that time, Frozen, I think, had just come out on video, and everybody was singing Let It Go on a regular basis. So I said, let's get back into the routine. Let's take advantage of this, right? Well, what I didn't realize, and should have realized this, is that the kids were more interested in eating the gummy bears and the marshmallows. And so they jacked the gummy bears and the marshmallows. And so it didn't leave very many gummy bears and marshmallows to make some of the structures. And then I made the epic mistake of having them do this at lunch. So they went to their afternoon classes and they were loaded. And then I had a bunch of teachers that were mad at me because they had hyperactive kids coming into to their classrooms at the end of the day. So I had some angry teachers with me that day as well. So I'm warning you, you do something like this, wait till like the after school program and then send them home to their parent. No, I'm playing, but you know what I mean? It's like, you might want to do this on a Friday, or maybe a special after school program. Don't do this during the day like I did and made everybody upset with me in the building. Okay. Everybody can still hear me and see me, right? Because you guys are real quiet. Everybody hears me?
Yes.
Okay. I thought maybe I lost my internet there for a minute because everybody's so quiet. Okay, let's keep moving on. Quick projects. Oh, I'm sorry. I went back by accident. Let's go forward. Okay, user-friendly apps. In the very beginning, I was using Doink, like many people were using. Doink is still a good app to use. And it encompasses you putting the kids in front of a green screen, and then the kids decide what type of background they want to use, So the kids loved the Doink app because it was fun, it was engaging, and I was able to turn and flip this into a video, and here it is, where you see the kids, still pictures and also video of them. This was their very first Doink experience. And it's a simple app, and I think it's like $1.99 to download, but probably about now it's probably free. I haven't been on it in several months, mainly because I've been using some other apps instead. But this is still a great app to use. It's very much so being used by many librarians and teachers across the country. So Doink is a really nice one to use. And let me go back to my presentation. Minecraft. I was able to get a wonderful desktops for my Makerspace lab, but I didn't know anything about Minecraft. So I kind of followed the kids' lead on this. A lot of the kids are familiar with this program, and Minecraft is embedded in the Microsoft suite on many of these computers. And in Minecraft, the kids can go in and they can build worlds and they can just have us a good time, using it. And oh God, this app isn't working either. So I will, this link is dead. So I'll fix this later. So with Minecraft, the kids were creating worlds within Minecraft, and they were meeting each other in world, they were creating, and it's really interesting to see how their creativity can expand and just grow and flourish. So those are user-friendly apps. The kids love it. I just go with the flow. My district also invested in Canva. Canva is very popular. I remember Shannon Miller a couple of years ago was talking about it, and I got on it the first time and got hooked. If you want to create anything that's online, like this presentation I'm using, this is a Canva presentation, believe it or not. So this is it's like a Google Slides in a sense. And I love it because I can do any and everything in terms of my workflow. And also the kids have access to Canva, so they're creating their own projects online too. So I wanted to be cheap, and I didn't want to use the ALA. I'm not trying to throw shade at ALA, but their Read poster software program is kind of pricey for me. So I said, we can create our own Read posters. So that's what we've been doing in my school, is that we create our own Read posters. So here's Rainica, and she has one of her favorite books from when she was in 6th grade. She's an 8th grader now. And she created her Read poster. And I think this was Emmy, if I'm not mistaken, the graphic novel. So, it's anything the kids want to be creative with. Just go with the flow and guide them and encourage the creativity. During the pandemic, believe it or not, I had a virtual makerspace. I really did. I was very fortunate the Kid Museum of Bethesda, Maryland, reached out to one of our chiefs in DCPS, which is District of Columbia Public Schools, and said, hey, we have a couple of Makerspace kits we would like to donate to DCPS students, and as long as the teacher guides them through the actual activity. And so I took advantage of it. I was like, okay, but I had to drive around and drop them all off to each student, because relying on them to come up to the school during the pandemic, it just was not going to happen. So I spent a day going to all the kids' homes, and I just had them in the back of my truck, and I would call the parent and say, tell your child to come out and get their kit. They came out with their mask on, and I lifted up the hatch on my truck, and they waved, said hello, got their Makerspace kit, went in the house. And so we had a couple of activities. We started with skill building activities, like how do you make a hinge? How do you make a wall? And the kids are like, oh, this is going to be easy. And then they saw that, oh man, this is not as easy as I thought. And so by starting off with those simple activities, it helps build confidence, and it helps them build their skills for when they get to more difficult and challenging activities. So the second one was like flowers made out of, here we go again, pipe cleaners. So I was lucky, pipe cleaners were a part of the Makerspace kit that the Kid Museum donated to us. Then the third activity was I wanted them to do to participate in a lesson on DC traffic safety. In DC, we have bike lanes, we have scooter lanes, and of course we have bus lanes. Okay, so fathom that, right? And so it can get a little confusing. So that was the purpose of them becoming mini traffic engineers, and the kids had to design a busy intersection, and they had to design it in terms of, okay, here's the bus stop, here's the bicycle lane, here's the scooter lane, here's the overpass for not only the pedestrians but also animals too. So it was a lot of fun, and it was interesting to see how kids were just so creative in this respect. And it was, and they got to keep the kid at the end of the day, so I'm like, I'm not asking for that stuff back. You guys can have it and have more fun with it. All right. So my last slide, and then I'm going to take questions and we'll have like a little discussion. And I'll turn the presentation off. Canva memes and TikTok videos. Let me show you a couple of things. The first thing on the screen you're going to see is a Canva meme. October is known as National Bullying Prevention Month. And I don't know about you all, but we got some fighting little sixth graders in my school, okay? So they're not getting along very well. And so me and my coworkers, we always teach this lesson, but we felt this year was extremely important that we taught a lesson about bullying, about kindness, about digital citizenship, because the kids are we are one-to-one school, so they're running around the building with these nice tablets, and sometimes they're in these chat rooms and class lessons. It's very tempting for them to say something kind of snide or nasty, so we wanted to get in front of this, especially with our sixth graders, and say, okay, we're not going to behave this way online. We're going to behave responsibly. So after we completed these lessons, the kids already knew how to use Canva, because my friend, who is the PE health teacher, already took them through some modules on how to use Canva. Only thing they had to do was they had to create their Canva meme. And these are like actual pledge cards that the kids came up with, stating that they're against bullying. So they're taking a stand against bullying. And this is a result of them completing the actual modules and the week-long lesson that was done with not only myself and the PE health teacher, but also our social worker. So we wanted them to really understand the importance of bystanders, upstanders, and why we need to treat each other more with kindness rather than negativity. So second thing is I finally got into TikTok. I was really pleased to see one of the TikTok people that's on TikTok, Kelsey, that I follow, and I really like the things that she's doing. And I don't know if I could ever get to that level because she's great. But I'm just a novice on TikTok, so don't laugh. I started off with a Day of the Dead video, and I'm gonna see if I can play this one. Hopefully this will work. And do you hear the music? I hope.
No.
Okay, you probably don't.
That's not
okay.
coming through.
So it's not coming through, but that's okay. You kind of see the video, get the point. But this is my TikTok account, and this was a short, I think 30-second video where during zero period, which is that period from 7:45 to 8:25 in the morning, the kids will come in, they would do different activities. In this case, they were making, coloring their skulls that were going to be placed in the windows, and then the other activity that we did was with National Bullying Prevention Month. Let me show you this one.
If you unplug your headphones, we'll hear the music.
Oh, can you all hear that? I don't know if you all can hear that or not. Probably not. Okay, so point I'm making is, I didn't hear anybody say if they could hear it. This is a special project this year because I was able to get 15 computers donated by a data analysis company named Prefit. They wanted to partner with a DC public school, and State Board of Ed Representative Alistair Chang was so kind, and he recommended, why don't you work with Casey Boyd over there at Jefferson, because she has a Makerspace, she's doing things with the kids, right? So they donated 15 touch screen laptops from Dell, and the first thing we did was we used them with this project for National Bullying Prevention Month. So as you can see, the kids went through some modules with us through Nearpod. And at the end, the kids did their pledge card, as I showed you previously. And the second thing is that they created a bracelet that was based off of key words from the lesson, like be kind. Another hashtag that was used constantly in this lesson was called See Me. That's the packet that we purchased. The kids created their own messaging on their bracelets. It was a little messy because some of the materials for the bracelet landed on the floor, and it drove my custodian crazy because she had to clean up behind the children. But she understood and she was patient, and the kids really enjoyed themselves making these bracelets, and it's a memento from them experiencing this lesson. So the last thing, and I just realized I didn't include this, but let's see if I can go in here and show you real quick, which is, I think it's in this one. This is also the second part of the Day of the Dead lesson. This was a Donors Choose grant that I received. Not only did the kids do the adult, or I should say tween coloring, they also made skulls, and the skulls were made out of like a squishy, soft material, and you could put the magnets on the back of it so you could stick it on, the refrigerator door, when the kids got home. Those are some of the decorations I was able to purchase. That's one look of it. And also too, see that's actually a yard blow up. So you know how you have those inflatables that for Christmas time and Thanksgiving and Halloween? Well, they actually had some for Day of the Dead. And I said, well, we could have one for my Makerspace, right? So I was able to put it up on a pedestal. It's like a pedestal that's actually used for a TV set that I have in my office. And I strapped it on really well. And every morning I just go into the Makerspace and plug it up, and it blows up, and it's sitting right next to all the signage and all the decorations for Day of the Dead. So that was the monies that were spent for that grant. And so this video will be part of that, the package material that I'm going to give, to close out my grant with Donors Choose. Okay, so that being said, I'm stopped my presentation. Now I'm going to go back in the chat, see if I see there's like 20 comments. Thank you, Kelsey, for reminding me about recording. Yeah, because I just totally forgot at first, but I'm glad I am recording. Yeah, and I do make a lot of personal purchases because it's like DC doesn't pay for us. We don't even get supplies because like Kelsey was showing us how she's, her book covering supplies, and I was just in the graphic novels presentation, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to start buying more material to cover those graphic novels and the anime and manga books because they're getting beat up so bad. But my district does not believe in paying and supplying librarians for that. So I'm probably going to have to just eat it out of my own pocket. Wrapping paper is great for making origami. Okay. Might get donations after the holidays. Yeah, that's a great idea. You can get book kits that include Makers in Mackin. I heard about that. I wonder, can you purchase that with your monies from through Follett? I wonder if I could do that. All right. Like the wrapping paper idea. Yep. Um, yeah. I don't have a poster printer, unfortunately. That's something I do want. But look, when I want something real bad, I'm gonna figure out a way of getting it. Somebody's gonna buy it for me, just like those computers. They bought it for me. Um, let's see, Canva's amazing. Yep. I now make my read posters too. Exactly. Yep. And let's see, I love that blow up. Yep, I love that blow up. And I mean, I had a couple of teachers that walked by and they were like, "What?" I was like, only Miss Boyd will find the most unique blow ups, and that's now giving me all these ideas of anytime we do anything that's especially holiday based or theme based. I'm gonna go on Amazon and see if I can find a blow up because I have more than enough storage space in the back of my office now, you know, and I can do this. I have plenty of areas where I can have all my, seasonal themed materials, so I can really bring my makerspace to life. Anybody have any questions, comments, please unmute. And because I have talked enough and I need to drink some more Izzy, which I should be drinking water, but this is carrying me through right now. Yeah. So don't be shy. I don't bite. Or everybody's just tired for the day. I know it's been a long day. This has been a great conference. A lot has been shared, and I still need to play catch up because there's so many things I missed because I had to step away from my computer for a little while. But yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hello?
Can you hear us now?
Oh, you all were talking to me? Oh God, I feel stupid. My bad.
I was saying that you could reach out to your local Kiwanis Club for donations for getting that printer. If you let them know, they can save up for you. My district has a, a a poster printer for the district, but which is huge. And some districts have that. So that might be something you could look into.
Okay. Kiwanis clubs, but see, that's also, let me tell you how bougie my school community is. We have a yacht club. I still don't understand it, but you have the right idea, which I need to follow, which is approach these clubs because oftentimes they're looking for areas where they can donate to the schools, and we are the closest school to them. So that's actually a very um, good idea.
I love that recommendation. Okay, see, so thinking ahead, I always see great ideas posted, but then it's too late. The season has passed or the holiday has passed. So
Yeah.
what do you have upcoming in the next 6 to 8 weeks?
Oh, for me, my big project right now is two things. First is the kids are going to do this year's version of their read posters, and I have that conference room. The walls are barren in there, And no one has made any recommendations from the administration about if they're going to put their KWL charts and other signage because they have meetings in there. So I'm like, I'm staking my claim and I'm putting library promotional materials in here. What's the promotion? I have students that are reading. They're avid readers. So by me doing that, I'm going to have the full wall. I have two posters up there from ALA right now. And there's a sign that says, everyone is welcome here. And then I'm going to have the kids' pictures of their read posters all around it with their favorite books. So that's what I want to do with them, you know. And then well, actually it's 3 projects. The second project is we have an anime club that the 6th grade math teacher is running. As a project for my lunchtime kids, I want them to make buttons for that club. And then we also have a pride club. So I want them to make buttons for that as well. So that's coming down the pike, but everything will be designed in Canva. And then we just print it on my color printer in my office. And then they cut them out and they put them right into, you know, they make the buttons. And I believe I got the idea from Kelsey, if I'm not mistaken, because I think she has a TikTok video about the button makers, and I ran and bought the button maker and it's still sitting in my office, hadn't even been open, but I know what I'm going to do with it between now and the last day before winter break. The third project is I have kids that, yeah, Joyce, you're right. I do my read posters with my green screen in my library because it makes life easy. It really does. In fact, all those pledge cards I made, they were done for green screen. I have students of different faiths. They're Buddhist, they're Jewish, Christian, Muslim. I'm missing a religion. I'm missing religion. I'm so sorry. My mind is going blank. So because of that, I'm Christian. I automatically do a Christmas tree, but I started thinking, I have a population of students that live at or below the poverty level. And I want kids to think more of the holidays of you give to others. So I do a giving tree every year. And what the giving tree encompasses is something very, very simple. How many of you work in cold weather cities and you see kids coming in the building? They don't have a hat on, they don't have gloves on, or even a scarf. And it's like a storm outside, but they're coming to school every day, right? Or they don't even have warm socks on. So what I do is, this is something I bite and beat the, just buy up because I know my blessings come to me later on down the line. I order in bulk from like Dollar Tree or some other discount stores, and I get like a bulk of hats, gloves, mittens, socks, and we put it on a tree. And then we tell the teachers, if you identify any kids that are in need, let them have their pride. Don't say anything, of course, in front of the entire class, but you see that they need some socks, just send them down at any time during the day, and they could just take what they need off of the tree. So that's what the giving tree is about, is that they just take what they need so they can be warm during the winter months. So, and then usually it's my lunchtime kids that help replenish the tree. They'll come back into the my office, and when they see that a couple, like the scarves, are starting to get a little dwindled down, they know where to find it. They'll go in my office, in my back office in the storage room, and they'll get like 5 more scarves to put on the tree, but they keep it well stocked, so I don't have to worry about it. They're very observant of it. So this will be the first year that my 6th and 7th graders have done this because, of course, of the quarantine, they didn't have the experience, but my 8th graders did it. And they're like, are we going to do the giving tree this year? I'm like, yes, we are. We're going to have menorahs out here. We're going to have everything out here decorated, trying to celebrate everyone's religion. We're going to have a representation. That's what I believe in my library program, is that everybody's valid. Everybody's voice it must be heard, and everyone needs to be represented. So that's it. Anybody else have a question or comment? Yeah, and I have some Jehovah Witness kids too, and sometimes I've had some Jehovah Witness children that received materials from the Giving Tree, but if I said it was Christmas, they would not take it. No, but because I call it a Giving Tree, they are more apt to come and get it. And I remember one parent came in to speak to me, and she was speaking to the teacher, but she swung through and wanted to talk to me because she had been very vocal about what her daughter was checking out, and she kind of looked at the tree, and I think it clicked in her mind, like, wait a minute, my daughter has that same scarf and she brought it home. I didn't say anything, but if that tree said Christmas on there, she probably would have brought it back, and that's her right if she wanted to do that, but because I had Giving Tree on the tree, I think that's why she didn't even push that issue and argue with me. So I know it's coming up on 5:40. I know we're supposed to release at 5:40, but if you'd like to stay on, I will stay on. If you have any other questions or comments or just want to talk, that's cool. Or you want me to show you something else from this. My experience with my Makerspace is not as grand as most other programs are. I do have a 3D printer. The problem is that the supplies for it, I don't have the money or didn't get the funding from the district to keep that running. So, I just have to be very creative and find different ways. And I have to pick and choose what I'm going to focus on. I wanted to really do Day of the Dead and Hispanic Heritage Month activities because we have a growing Latin American population at the school. And some of my students that are from Latin America, they're not familiar with Day of the Dead because it's more of a Mexican holiday from what I have learned. So this has been a great education for them and they enjoyed it, So I wanted to focus on that this fall, was Hispanic Heritage and Day of the Dead. And, just exploring that with all the kids. So in the spring, there'll be some more focusing on other areas as well. So, know we have another session coming up at 6. So, I thank you all for stopping in today and just learning a little bit about what I'm doing. It's done very simply, not with a lot of money, and just a whole lot of creativity. And I want to continue to grow this program. I see how some Makerspace programs, they have a lot of circuits and things moving and everything. And I want to grow to that point. But I think it was necessary for me to start very small and build up because I had a Makerspace at a former high school I worked at. My Makerspace was more digital and it was more computer based. And here it's a little different. And because I have younger students and I'm able to keep their attention more, I think that helps.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You said you had a button maker, or you were able to print the pictures in a button size and they cut it out. You said that was in Canva?
Yeah, I haven't. Well, here's the thing. I have not done it yet. I was watching a TikTok video and I said I could do the same thing. It was very simple. There in Canva, there's different sizes of buttons that you can design. You print it out, and then
I wanted to print out blank ones so that the kids could actually physically design one. I was trying to find the right size, but when you go to print it, it changes. Like if you do it in certain programs, then when you go to print, it changes the size of it. So I wanted to find a template that would print exactly like in a PDF form. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that sounds like something you're really going to have to adjust in Canva to get it to fit right. Because I know that's probably what would be my challenge too.
Yeah.
But
so I was trying to print blank ones. And then I actually have a Cricut cutter, but I was having issues trying to find a template of the right size to cut so that it would cut it for me. and then I could just say, here, just fill it out. And then they put it, I have a button maker and I haven't used it because of the same issue. I'm trying to figure out how to use it properly. So
That's
just
my
want to
next
make it.
goal. That's my next goal is a Cricut cutter too. Because the custodian in my school is an expert with Cricut cutters. And she said, whenever you're ready, she's gonna show me and the kids how to do it. So
Yeah,
that's another one.
it's good. It's confusing. There's a lot of layers. Start simple though. It's easy, like just letters and stuff. But I do a lot of recycling. Like I literally bring stuff from home. That's how I did my first things. I do like cardboard challenges, and the kids have to make a game out of cardboard, or they have to make a car, like steam challenges, or they could just build. Like I had these kids, they created a game with, I had caps of all colors, from plastic bottle caps, from like orange juice, whatever, apple juice. And they made up their own game during lunch, and they were using quarters. I'm like, no, you can't use money in here. I said, I'm not dealing with that. I said, here, I have a whole bunch of caps. And then they were playing, they made up their own game, and they're doing it all over the table. And they were 8th graders. And it was like, oh, this is great. And it was like, they were having so much fun, and they made their own little tournament. And they had to like knock the other person's cap off the table or something like that without, whatever. And they had like, you could only do 1 shot or 2 shot. I don't even know how they played. But they had so much fun for like 3 weeks. They were nonstop playing that.
3 weeks. That's pretty good to keep their
and
attention.
I had nothing to do with it. I just gave them the caps, and they just came up with it on their own. I'm like, okay. And they were doing it on their own. You also might want to do, I did 1 year for women's history. I did paper airplanes, and I actually had to make in honor of women pilots like Amelia Earhart. So I said, so that you can, we had how far your airplane could go. I just marked it down the hallway right outside my room. And so we had a little competition who could get their paper plane to go the furthest, or to land in a hoop. I had borrowed like a hula hoop from the gym teacher. And so I did that 1 year. And then I just like printed out little certificates, and whoever got the furthest. And I had some teachers would come, even a teacher came and participated and brought his own airplane. He made himself. So the kids, they thought it was great. I had some special ed class come in and do it themselves. They made their own paper airplanes, and they did it during a class time. So that was fun.
But that gives me a good idea, because I have the space in the hallway to do something like that. The way that my library is built, and it's a ramp that comes down.
Oh, you could do the balloon
lobby.
cars. Do the balloon cars. That's easy, because all you need is cardboard. You could use plastic wheels, or like I said, you could use plastic things for wheels. The only thing you would need is the sticks. Like you could get the skewers to use, and then all you need to probably buy would be straws and balloons to make. And that's how they.
And guess what? Those kids from the kid museum that I was talking about?
Yeah,
that's in there.
There you go. Yeah. And the kids can design them, and you can have a little competition who has the fastest steam car. You can have the science classes come in, or when they're doing that kinetic energy, to do that at the same time.
That is a great idea. Thank you. What's your name?
Lynn Cicero.
Lynn, thank you for the suggestion. See, this is why I'm so glad Christina created this, because I'm sitting here, I'm the presenter, but you see, that's the thing. We both learn from one another. We both appreciate what the other is saying, because I will tell you right now, I am not an expert. I'm still learning in everything.
Yeah,
so
I hear
still
you.
learning.
Yes, we all are.
Lifelong
learners.
Lifelong learners, and trying to keep these kids engaged. That's the main thing. Keep them engaged. So we got 8 minutes until your next session. So I know I'm going to try and jump into another session myself.
All right. Thank you. And I posted a link to Kiwanis if you want to save your chat. Just you can look up Kiwanis in your local area, because my husband's really big involved, and they're a service or community organization for kids. They do lots of stuff for kids. There's a camp, like in New York, there's a Camp Kiwanis where it's where kids would never go to camp. And they fundraise all year to send the kids to camp. but they do small projects all the time, like they do coat drives and things. So you might get a coat drive to go with your giving tree. So
Yeah.
Mm.
But
I would love
Hi.
to follow you on Instagram. Could you share what your handle is?
oh, you know what? And I didn't show you all the last page and everybody gone. Here, let me share my screen and you can see it for yourself here. There we go. I meant to share with you guys the last page, which is, this is how you follow me. societap.com/Casey Boyd. That connects to all of the social media minus Wakelet, because I'm not a big Wakelet person, but you have a link today. But I'm boss_librarian on everything on social media. So if you Google my name or either boss_librarian, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, something is gonna pop up. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. I went to both of your sessions and they were both great.
Oh, thank you, because Saturdays are rough days for me, and I'm glad I just got through this. And I'm
No,
just glad.
I thoroughly enjoyed both of them, and I'd love to be your friend.
Sure thing. Come look, follow me on, especially on Instagram, and just join the madness. You'll get a
Yep.
good laugh every week out of something I'm
Okay.
doing.
Good. I just sent a request. Thank you so much.
All righty, take care now. Did I see somebody's
Thanks,
hand up?
Casey. I requested you too. I'll see you on social media.
Okay, gotcha.
Thanks.
All righty. I'm gonna post this video too. I do need to stop the video. That would be smart, right? Let's see. Let's stop the video so I can post it for you guys. And we're good to go. Okay. Stop recording.